Hey, hi, my name is Chris. Every day I do a vlog. I do it for 1,000 days, guys. Yes, 1,000 days. So if you could subscribe, like, or give me that bell notification, hit that one for me, that would be great. Every day I talk about something uniquely different, and today, no one, I mean absolutely no one, is your friend. They're not. And I'll tell you why. They're not your friend because they've got their own interests. They've got their own perspective on life. They, I think, modify their approach sometimes when they're around you because maybe your alignment in terms of the friendship doesn't meet in with theirs. And that is something that, I guess, it's internal politics, isn't it? We conceal our internal politics away from other people and we just hide that inside us. And we don't actually share that. There are some things about each and every one of us that is in disagreement with somebody else. And they can be people that are very close to us. They can be people that we call friends or even more. It might be family. But there are some of those issues that we are in opposition to that we don't share. And I think that's a main factor in why really friendships is a very visceral surface level connection. And of course family is the next step up from friendship. Family is supposed to be a closer bond connection, but even the people that you call family may not have that intrinsic connection with you. And I think knowing that everything and everyone in your life is transient. They will come, they will go. Some people will stick around for a long time and some people may not. And if they don't, that is part of life. In as much as that you have drifted in and out of somebody else's life, they're going to drift in and out of yours. And that is something that is, I guess worth knowing, worth understanding, because there are people that you have in your life that may not be around in as little as a few weeks' time, a few months, maybe even a few years. And yeah, I think that's a hard, bitter pill to swallow. But look, just reflect back on your history, okay? Just reflect back on where you were, say, 10, 15, 20 years ago. Have you still got the same people in your life? I would say an awful lot of you out there don't. You really don't. And you don't have that connection with people anymore. And they have moved on. And you've moved on. They're no longer around for you. And that's why, is there any such thing as real friends? I guess there have been the odd occasion where people have connected with people and they've had them in their entire lives. But I think the reality of that is actually the chances of that are very small. I think you've got greater chance if you form a friendship when you are a child, if you like, and then as a child you stay pretty close together and stay connected with each other, and then you just realize that you just stay in each other's lives, and it's almost like having an extra familial connection because it's like they've been a part of your family, you've been a part of their family. And as a friendship, I think you hear like young people growing up together and growing into, say, adolescence and adulthood. I mean, that is pretty special, isn't it? But it's not always the case that you will have a friend or a friendship in your life. It's a reality that I think that will change. So will you have that friend with you forever? I'm going to argue it and say maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe you won't have that person around you because that person, I guess we're all on a growth journey as well, aren't we? We're all growing as individuals. We're all sort of developing into different people. And when we do that, we change. They change. I'm going to change. You're going to change. We're all going to change. We're not going to be the same people. We're going to have different needs, desires, wants. And yeah, I guess that's another consideration. If you have friends in your life that have obviously been there and are there with you, I would say you don't always necessarily agree on certain things. You may not necessarily have the same political views, the same views on life. You may not want the same things. There's different things that draw different people together in the context of what a friendship is. But I would say no, the friends that you think you have probably won't be around forever. They may not be around in a few weeks' time. There's many reasons why people choose to end their friendship with somebody. There is. And ending a friendship sometimes is absolutely necessary because they've changed and they bring something to you which you find, I guess, unpalatable, or they've got a habit, or they do something or say something. It could be absolutely anything. But if you understand that life is about change, it's about evolving, well, then you know that friendships won't last. Most won't last. Most won't last a lifetime. I'm aware of some people who've had friends in their lives and they've naturally progressed to a different place, gone somewhere else, done something different, and lost connection or that connection over time. And when you lose connection, it may well be that they've emigrated abroad. There's been a lot of distance between you. You don't have that desire to stay in touch. And it's a gradual fade out of that friendship. So I think most friendships will eventually die. Most friendships will come to a natural conclusion. I had a friend in my life who was quite a toxic, angry person. And I was around just a couple of weeks ago and I happened to see this person. Now I remembered that toxicity that they brought to the friendship. I remembered that anger and that resentment that they sort of exposed me to and made me feel a certain way about. Most of the people who actually knew that person would say, actually, they're just not nice, Chris. But I always decided to give people the benefit of the doubt. And I think if you can give somebody the benefit of the doubt, if you can say, actually, you know, I've given you every opportunity to change in the light of if you want to stay friends with me. But if they don't and they choose not to accept it, but I think the loss really is on their part. And I saw this person, like I say, just a few weeks ago, and it really resurrected feelings of not wanting to have that back in my life. I saw them from a distance. I was able to sort of maneuver myself so I didn't have the opportunity to have a conversation. And I think sometimes that's absolutely necessary. It really is. If you can take steps to avoid negative people, then that's fundamental to your to your peace in your world. So no such thing as permanent friends in your life. We all change, we all evolve, we all adapt, we all move. We're not concrete structures that stay right opposite each other and share a certain commonality. There's so much in us all as human beings where, as similar as we are, there's so much that is different. And no. Sorry about that, that's really loud, isn't it? But no, friends definitely go. Friends come into your life, but like I say, most of the time it's not forever. It's not. So just remember that. I'm sure when I'm talking about these people, there's probably people in your life who that reminds you of. So yeah, no such thing as friends, is there? Or maybe there is. I'll let you decide. On that note, I'll be back in tomorrow with something completely uniquely different. If you could subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. On that note, I'll see you tomorrow. Bye now.